Hello and welcome back to another episode of Shojo's Bizarre Adventure. It is I, your host, Stella Luna.
Hello, and you said hello, everyone.
Hello, 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 hello. I know it's been too long, too long. We've been busy. Okay, we
I've
were,
been traveling
yeah. Miku Expo. Miku, you've been how
hmm
many times now? Like three times?
3 times.
Three
Yeah,
times.
I had only planned 2 trips, but then I saw a $20 ticket pop up in LA, and I
You
couldn't
were like
resist.
YOLO. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very fun, very fun. You know, this is going to be a very like Vocaloid heavy episode because oh boy, I feel like the community's on fire right now.
Yeah.
It is on fire. So we'll get to Miku Expo in a second because there's a lot to talk about because we haven't been able to talk about it since we had since Miku Expo has started. But I want to talk about
hmm
Project Diva first. So
hmm
yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it the day before? I don't remember my days anymore.
I think it was like 2 days ago.
2 days
Yeah.
ago, uh, which we're recording this on Wednesday, so this like Monday. Yeah, Monday.
hmm
So Monday, the Krypton Future Media put out a little snippet from an interview, basically saying, "Haha, yeah, we know about Project Diva. Haha, your game's dead." That's not what they said. They didn't say that, but they
Yeah,
insinuated
they
that
did.
they were not going to work on Project Diva anymore, and it's essentially dead in the water. And
hmm
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a huge Project Diva fan. It is one of my favorite games I have ever played. Like, I play it all the time. I love playing it on my PlayStation. Like, I own this game. I own a lot of versions of this game. I own it on my Switch. I own Mega Mix on my Switch. I own Mega Mix Plus on my PC. I have both Future Tone and X on my PlayStation. I have bought this game essentially like four times, right? Four
Yeah,
different
yeah.
times on all of these platforms and I also have unlocked all of the outfits and everything on them. I paid extra money to get DLCs and all of this stuff. I paid a lot of money. Like I bought Mega Mix for the Switch the day it came out in Japan. That's the day it came out. Not the English version. I don't have the English version. I have the Japanese version because I could not wait. I didn't know when it was gonna come out. So I'm a big fan of this game, right?
hmm
And basically, Krypton's like, haha, we're not making this game anymore. Project Sakai all the way. And I'm like, oh, God,
Yeah.
this game, this goddamn game. And it's made the community be in a little bit of a little tizzy, like they are not happy right now. Well, okay, half of them are really upset, and the other half of them are like Project Sakai fans who are like, neener, 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 you're dead, your
Oh,
game's
yeah.
dead.
That's pretty much how Project Sakai fans like. I know we talked about like criticize the fandom for what it
Yeah,
is, but it's truly like it's that attitude that a lot of the older Vocaloid fans hate that's really coming forward.
yes,
So it's like
absolutely.
it's hard to be like, dude, this is what we've been talking about, and you guys every single time without a fail, you make a fool out of yourselves.
Literally. Well, because here's the thing is that Project Sakai, I think, as a game, like I saw your videos about your criticisms about Project Sakai. And Project
hmm
Sakai could have easily been like the new Vocaloid game, right? Like it
Yeah.
could have been part of essentially the Project Diva line of game, but they decided not to do that for whatever reason. Because we also, I forgot to mention, I also own Project Mirai on the DS, on the
hmm
3DS, right? Which is it's part of the Project Diva line. But it's for the 3DS, right? And yes, it is a different. It's not a different game, but it does have different gameplay, right? Than the normal
Yeah, it does.
Project Diva, right? And so Project Sakai could have been the same way because it could have been for the Project Diva line, but they decided, nah, we're not going to do that. We're not. It's going to be a whole separate, different game than
hmm
Project Diva. And I think where most fans have a problem with Project Sakai is is not like you said. It's not really because of like the game itself. It's the OCs. And it's the reason I
Yeah.
don't like the game. I don't like whatever these characters are because that is not Vocaloid to me. That is not V synth. That is not vocal synth. It is not any of that. It has not. They have nothing to do with the community at all. They're not even fanloids.
Mm-mm.
Like they're just
No, they're just voice actors.
voice actors. They're just kids. You know, like they're just kids in a game. And I'm like, I just don't like that because it's not. They have nothing to do with Vocaloid. They really
No,
like
nothing.
yes, they perform the songs and everything, but let's be real. Like there is games out there who have had Hatsune Miku and Rin and Len and Luca, Kaito, Mako in their game
Yeah,
before as a
they make
collab.
appearances in other rhythm games.
Yeah, like Ensemble Stars. They showed up in
Yep.
Ensemble Stars. They showed up in
Bandori as well.
Bandori, Love Live.
Mm-hmm.
Like they show. I wish Utapri, but it's okay. That would have been really
I mean,
funny.
you never know with the new game.
That's
Maybe
true.
Miku will pop up.
Maybe, but you would not call them Vocaloid games. Like
No.
you wouldn't associate them with Vocaloid, right?
Mm-mm.
And
Like I just wish they would have been like upfront from the beginning when the game
yeah,
was launched in 2020,
hmm
instead of like marketing it as a Vocaloid game, just market it as an idol game because that's
yeah,
essentially what it is.
yeah. It's an idol game. It's not a Vocaloid game. It's an idol game that includes
Mm-hmm.
some Vocaloid and Vocaloid songs. But now
Mm-hmm.
we're starting to get into territory of like them bringing in songs that aren't Vocaloid songs,
Yeah.
right? Like they're bringing in Bad Apple, which is a
Mm-hmm.
Toho song, right? But that doesn't mean Toho is part of like yes, Vocaloid and Toho are very similar in a lot of aspects. I feel like they're sister fandoms, right?
Yes, they are. Uh-huh.
Like they are sister fandoms, especially from like the 2000s and like 2010s. I feel like a lot of the memes that were very popular at the time were shared between these fandoms. Like I saw a
Mm-hmm.
lot of Toho memes in Vocaloid and vice versa. And it's really annoying because it's like it's not you're not going to call this a Toho game, right? If they add more
No.
songs. Like you're not going to call it a Toho game. You're not going to say that Toho is Vocaloid. You're not going to if Toho has like a concert, which I'm pretty sure they've had some concerts for Toho, not
I
like the
think so too.
characters,
Yeah.
but like the songs that are included in it. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to see Project Sakai cosplayers going to these events. You know, going to like if Toho does become a big part of the game, right? Because they're adding Bad Apple, and who says they're not gonna add other songs like Night of Nights? I love that song.
No, yeah, they've been doing like they collab with other like rhythm games. They did my last year.
mm-hmm.
So like they've been going outside of like the Vocaloid realm, and then
Yeah.
also with like J-pop as well, with Ado and Yoasobi songs being in the game as well.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. And it's just that it's because to me, if Project Sakai was not like if you discovered Vocaloid through Project Sakai, there's no problem with that. I don't think there
Mm-mm.
is a problem with that. The same way as like if you discovered it through any rhythm game, right? Because a lot of rhythm
Yeah.
games have Vocaloid songs. My problem is that a lot of the Sakai fans are treating the OC characters as if they're part of the Vocaloid fandom, and they are not. They have nothing to do with them. Like I'm sorry, the only two characters I know is Tsukasa. I think his name's Tsukasa. Maybe I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong?
No, yeah, you're right.
Okay, his name's Tsukasa. And Emu Atori. And the only reason I know Emu Atori is because of the goddamn meme, which by the way is actually very funny. My name is Emu
Oh.
Atori. Emu Atori means smile. I like that.
I saw a tweet that from like an older Vocaloid fan, like saying like, "Oh, you Project Sakai kids need to keep your mouth shut with when it comes to Project Diva." It's like I don't like your game except for that little pink haired girl. She's cool.
Says that little pink-haired bitch. Just kidding, Phil. No, yeah. It's
Emu is like saved from
yeah.
the original characters.
Emu was the only one, just because it was so like I don't know why that meme was so funny to me, but it was I was like, this is so funny. But like it, there's so like it could have so easily been a Project Diva line. But I think the other thing that pisses us off is that, like, you know, a lot of these newer fans aren't understanding the frustrations we have with Project Diva and how Sega and Krypton treated Project Diva, because, like, they're like, oh, well, you know, Project Diva X didn't do that well. Well, no shit, Sherlock. There was only 30 songs. What do you mean it didn't do that well? It was a very different game than what we were used to, and that doesn't make it bad, but there was a lack of songs. Like,
I got a comment in one of my videos. I'm like, well, I mean, it was inevitable because like the last port update was in 2016. So Project Sakai couldn't have killed Project Diva. I'm like, how long do you think a game takes to develop?
Yeah.
Pretty sure like it takes a few years. So Sega diverting their resources to Project Sakai, I mean, did it kill it off completely? Maybe not, but like it definitely played a hand.
Yes. Well, and then on top of that, there's also, don't forget about Project Diva Mega Mix that was on the Switch that came out in I think 2020, around the same time as Project Sakai, right? And I guarantee they released both of these games and went, which one's going to make us more money? Without actually putting in any actual effort into Megamix. Like, I get that the Switch is limited on a lot of things, and the tune shader is fine, right? But they only added like a handful of songs to already a bunch of pre-existing songs. So, like, why is someone going to be enticed to buy this game full of songs that they can already play on their PlayStation or their PSP or PS Vita, which, you know, those were on those consoles too. I've also bought F Second and and Project Diva F and F Second. I had both of those as well. I lost them though, unfortunately. I think they got left at an ex-boyfriend's house, and I never recovered them.
No.
And I'm like, so sad. But I did have those. I did have those versions as well too. But like, why would you play this game if there's no new song, right? There's nothing new about it. Because Future Tone, the point of Future Tone was to like take arcade, which had all of the songs, and make it so you can play it on your PlayStation. That was like the point of it, right? But again, they weren't putting new songs or new anything into it. And even though we did have X, which had new things, it still was only 30 songs, and some of those songs we have already had in the past as well. Like Lots of Laugh is one. There was, I'm trying to think of like I know there's other ones. Look, it's been a long day, okay?
I'm terrible when it comes to song titles.
Yeah, I know there's other ones. There's definitely other ones that I've seen.
Literally, when I'm trying to find songs in Project Sakai, I'm like, please tell me what the cover looks like and what level of difficulty it is in expert. Yes. Then I'll find it.
But then there were some songs that didn't even get their full song. Like, so we had the medleys in X, and by the way, I love the medleys. I actually think they're very fun, and I would love to see something like that actually for Miku Expo. And Magical Mirai is like kind of like medleys where like it's all of these characters or all of the Vocaloids in different like parts of these songs like combining and dancing together. I would love to. I would love to see that. Yeah. But there was lots of songs that didn't even get like full songs. Like Gigantic OTN did not get a full song. You know, 1-2 Fan Club didn't get a full song.
Oh wow.
Like, there's so many that just didn't get their like own songs that it's like, why do this anyways? And then on top of that, they didn't have like music videos in the same way we've seen Project Diva in the past. They had them performing on stages, essentially. So it wasn't quite the same.
Hmm.
And it makes me really sad because then they go, well, why didn't this make so any money? And it's like, well, I don't know, because like you're not really trying, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's like if you like wrote your name on your like test and then you didn't do any other work, you're like, oh, I'm done. And then you get an F and you're like, man, I'm never studying again. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like reading the translation of the interview
mm-hmm.
kind of just left me like scratching my head because they really don't have anyone to blame other than like themselves.
Yes.
Because how can you expect Project Diva to be profitable if you're not investing and giving the audience something to like spend their money on?
And like I get it. If phone games are like the next new thing that everyone has and that's like where everyone plays their games. Like personally, I'm not much of a phone game kind of gal. I like
Hmm.
playing on a PlayStation or like my Switch way more. However, I wouldn't mind playing on my phone either, except Project Sakai has so many characters and things I just don't care about. And I think that's what
Yeah.
makes the game like so unfun for me is because I'm like, I don't really care about any of these characters, nor do I ever want to really learn anything about these characters because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm here to play a rhythm game and play with the characters I recognize already,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, I got like a comment saying like, "Oh, but like if you read the stories, like you'll fall in love with them." It's like not here's like the thing about like older Vocaloid fans. We were there for the music. Like honestly,
Yes.
even as a Project Sakai fan myself, ask me if I know all the stories. I do not.
Yeah.
All I do is just skip through them, get my crystals, and that is it. I'll know
Yeah.
the gist of what's happening in the storyline, but I just don't care that much because I'm there for the music.
Mhm.
Whether it's the new commission songs or the songs that get added, which I mean, some of the covers have been hit or miss
Oh my
the past few
god,
years.
the
There can be really
tuning,
good covers
the
or
tuning is so
horrendous covers.
bad. Oh my god, the tuning is like makes me want to die.
uh,
Like
yeah,
I remember when I made a TikTok talking about how I really wish like we use Kaito more for like, you know, like sexual songs.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
because,
I
you know, like
remember.
if he has like a he, you know, if you tune him right, he has a nice voice. Like Cantarella, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
he sounds amazing in Cantarella, right? And I'm like, I want more like songs, sexual songs with Kaito. Like let's stop giving it all to Len. Let's give it some to Kaito, right? And there was someone in my comments who were like, yeah, no, he has a song. It's called If You Do Do, and and it's a Kaito song. And I'm like, it is not a Kaito song. And I listened to
Mm-mm.
it as well, and I was like, first of all, the tuning on it's atrocious. Which, by the
Yeah.
way, like it also makes me question a lot of things when it comes to the Vocaloid fans that specifically really like Project Sakai and pretty much only play Project Sakai because I'm like, you guys are missing out on so many like great producers who like tune
Yeah.
really well. Because
Well, I remember
mhm,
like one of Circus's streams that I was on, like he was streaming Project Sakai, and then he asked his chat, like, especially the people that just got into Vocaloid because Project Sakai, if they could like, I don't know, like if they had the ear to notice the differences between like the covers and then like the original songs or the commission songs where the
yeah,
where the producer actually does the tuning. And most people said they could not tell them apart.
that's so
You can tell
wild
them
to
apart.
me.
Yeah.
I That's so wild to me because I
Like it's
instantly
very obvious that Sega is just I don't know who like I think they're for sure by how inconsistent the quality is, they probably just have like a team of like either freelancers that come in and tune for the covers
yeah,
or it's just their own in-house team that just I don't know,
that
like
just
it's
doesn't
just
do a
so
good job.
inconsistent.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing too, because we were talking about it a little before the podcast, and there, like you mentioned how like maybe the reason for Project Diva like not then them not wanting to continue it is because they have to like animate 3D like
Yes.
music videos. But I'm like, but they animate the 3D characters in Project
Project
Sakai.
Sakai. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's not even an excuse. Like that's also
Mm-mm.
not an excuse. Like if they want to do like a fun little gotcha, like there's so many things they could have done with Project Sakai that could have been like actually a Vocaloid game, right? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
if I was Sega and they handed me this project, they handed me the game and they're like, okay, make the game how you would want this game or how Vocaloid fans would want this game. I would get rid of all of the original characters. Goodbye. You're gone.
Mm-hmm.
You're gone. Maybe add one original character and it's manager son, which if you are an old time Vocaloid fan, there's usually someone who's like the creator or the manager. Usually a guy
Mm-hmm.
with brown
Mm-hmm.
hair and you can't see his face. Like he's faceless, right? I would get rid of them and I would make it so that the gotcha element was taking modules and making them into cards, into
Yeah.
different cards, like because there's so many of them, and then adding new modules and new cards, right? In a pre, I that's the other thing. I don't like the art style of Project Sakai. I
It's just
don't.
very generic.
It's so generic looking, like,
Yeah.
and I think that's also a big reason I don't like it. Is like change whoever the artists are because the way they look so like all the characters look so generic. Like it just I'm like this is not my Vocaloids. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is not my Vocaloids. And change the character design or the art style. Make the cards into different modules that you can collect and have, and then that's where your gotcha element comes from, and all of the songs are Vocaloid and you can get all of these new songs, because like I just don't understand how they can get all of these songs that are not on Project Diva, and because like, a lot of people are like, well, maybe they're having copyright issues with Project Diva. But that
How?
doesn't make
That
sense
makes no
though.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I'm like it makes no sense because it's on Project Sakai. So how would they it's
Yeah.
like they're both games. They're both like I don't care if Project Diva just took the goddamn music video that came with the song and just slapped it in the game. They've done it
Yeah.
before.
I don't think fans would complain about that. They'll still have a playable song in the game,
Yes.
and it would be still new content as well.
Cuz like they barely updated Project Diva either. Like they barely brought
Mm-hmm.
any DLC. And I just don't understand. Like I don't understand how they can go. It made us no money, and then turn around and make a game like Project Sakai, and then be like have it
Yeah,
replace
it
it
just doesn't
because
make
they're
any
putting they're
sense.
putting the effort into Project Sakai.
Yeah,
But
everything.
at the same time, like I feel like they're also not because the tuning sucks.
Yeah. It's they I don't know. It's so hard to like figure out like they've obviously found a formula that works for them. Good for Sega. But it's just you know, just frustrating to deal with how
Mm-hmm.
they've handled everything. I did see one tweet that I retweeted. I found it really funny because they were like, now take the Project Sakai money and use that to fund another Project Diva
Yes,
since that's made you so much money.
thank you, please, honestly. And I see so many people. I see so many of these Project Sakai people, like them going, or your game's dead, and I'm like, just wait until it's your game because it will be one day. It
Oh,
will.
it'll happen
It's
one
gonna
day.
happen. It happened to
Hmm.
Love Live. It happened to Utapri. It's happened to
A3 got shut down
A3. Yeah, like it's
in the global server, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's the inevitable that like it can only make so much money for so long in the West here. Either people are gonna
Yeah.
fall off from it.
There will come a time where Project Sakai gets no updates
Yes.
and you'll start seeing voice actors leave
Yep.
slowly but surely.
Yep. Well, and that's exactly why. Why would you do it? Why would you bring in real people like that into the game? Right? Like, why? Because, like, with the Vocaloids, the Cryptonoids, you don't have to pay them. You don't have to
No?
pay Miku or Luca or any of them. You just have to pay for the song to be in the game. Because I'm like, how are we having? Okay, if you're having this much problem with Project Diva, how are we not like? How are we still having money for Project Sakai? Because you still have to put in money into the covers, into the tuning, into all of this stuff,
Uh-huh.
on top of bringing the songs into the game, on top of making the music videos, on top of like character design for all of these brand new characters. Like, how are we making, like, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's just
It makes
like
no
make it make
sense.
sense, like
And it's like, don't come at me with the like, well, it's because of the gotcha. Obviously, the gotcha. They could have done the exact same thing for just Project Diva and make it on mobile.
yeah. And even if they're complaining about money, it's like, dude, how many times has Krypton like crowdfunded for stuff?
And then we
So many
came
damn
through.
times.
Yeah, we've come through
Yeah,
every single time.
dude. They're not new to this crowdfunding. Like if
No.
they could they could easily like crowdfund for another Project Diva game if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Problem is they don't want to because they lost everyone who actually cared about that game.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna.
It deserved better.
It deserved better. I'm gonna go. I'm
You
just
know
like
what?
Yuri on Ice and oh, that's another thing we can fucking talk about. Just like Yuri
Oh
on Ice
yeah.
and Mappa. I'm
Hmm.
coming. I'm. Watch out! Watch out,
It's like
Krypton!
it's honestly the same damn thing. Like
It is.
Mappa saying that it didn't make them enough money. Well, of course it's not gonna make you enough money. You haven't released shit in like the last few
In
years.
the last like 6 years. Yeah, because like
Exactly.
that happened as well. Because I'm like, bullshit. It didn't make you any money. Bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Because you want to know something that's crazy about Yuri on Ice? So when you compare Yuri on Ice to a show like Chainsaw Man, right? We're gonna say Chainsaw
Uh-huh.
Man.
Yes.
In the first week of Blu-ray sales, guess how many Blu-ray sales there were for Chainsaw Man?
I don't know, but considering how poorly the adaptation was, not many.
1700. 1700 sales. Blu-ray sales in the first week. All right. How much was Yuri on Ice in the first week? Just make a wild guess.
Mm, Japanese numbers. 50,000?
50,000. You were right.
50?
50,000. It was
Freak.
record-breaking sales. And by the way, first week. Not even like, oh, it's a month or like in the year. No. First week. 50,000 compared to Chainsaw Man, which is 1,700.
Yeah, and Chainsaw Man's the shonen from Shonen Jump. Yeah.
Well, isn't it getting a season
Mm-mm.
2?
Yeah, it's getting a season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you see that? You want to talk about it being, oh, the money, there's no money. That bullshit. Bullshit. And I saw the stupidest take. I saw the dumbest take about Yuri on Ice. So there's this
What
person
was
on
it?
TikTok, and you're not even gonna believe why, like their reasoning as to why Yuri on Ice is not happening. It's because they literally say Yuri on Ice is not happening. It got canceled because of Putin.
Ah.
Because Japan doesn't want any beef or whatever. They don't want any beef with like Russia or like the rest of the world and yada yada yada. And I was like, I can't listen to this take. This was the dumbest take I've ever heard, ever.
How?
Because of the war. It's because of the no. It's not because of the war. Like Japan doesn't give a shit. They don't give a if Japan gave a shit, Hetalia would have never been a thing. It would have never existed. So it's not even that. It's like, it's not because of Putin. What a wild take. It's because whenever I guarantee this is why. They got caught up in so many other things And Yuri
Yeah,
and
he
Ice
did.
had like it just been too long, and they were like, you know what, like our audience is no longer this, so we should just cancel it.
You know, like the wild thing too about like Mappa is
What?
I haven't kept up with like their other sports series, but from what I've heard, they do throw in some kind of like queer baiting elements into their other sporting series that they pick up.
I'm gonna I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna
Like,
go
why,
find.
dude? If you made two teasers for the freaking movie, why lead fans on for so long?
I
That's the thing.
know. Well, because like at first it was the pandemic, and I was like, okay, fine, that's fine,
Understandable, yes.
understandable, all that stuff. And then it was like, okay, where is it? Hey, hey, where is it? You promised us this.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Where is Yuri on Ice? Hello. I swear to God, I'm gonna go find Mappa's CEO, and I'm gonna go throw up in his shoes. I'm gonna take a big shit, this big old dump right in his shoes. So next time he steps into them, he's gonna feel a warm, squishy sensation. And he's gonna be like, what is that? Did something die in my shoe? Yeah, my hopes and dreams about Yuri on Ice!
Well, it's like with both Project Diva and Yuri on Ice, I feel like the companies already know that they're not going to continue this. So why lead the fans on this way? And also, why let things that are so beloved by the fans
Yeah,
just die because of neglect?
yeah.
You have no one to blame other than you guys because you didn't continue the thing that you claim didn't make any money. Well, duh, you haven't released anything.
The girlies, yeah, are the ones that brought you up, okay? The girls
Well,
brought you
they're
up.
still depending on the girlies. Freaking JJK is covered in like fan service for like their female fans. They will not be anything if they didn't cater to like female JJK fans.
I feel like
There's
that.
stuff that's not even in the manga. They just added it in the anime because they know.
I feel like
They
I
know.
like my mood about all of this feels like that clip of that deer in Japan. The one where it's like they're at like the deer park or whatever, that you go
Uh-huh.
like feed the deer, and they go
Oh
up to
yeah,
this deer, and this deer like they like they're filming it, and the deer goes that's
yeah.
me.
It's just I can't even blame American corporations. It's just like
I
Japan
know.
is the same.
There's no difference.
Actually, no. I feel like Americans would be like, yeah, this is canceled by.
Yeah, they're like, here's 8 episodes. Goodbye, it's canceled.
Yeah, and then the Japanese
Releases it
just
on
leave you
Netflix.
on.
Yeah, of course
Mm-mm.
it died. Oh, I should have not done that. That hurt my throat.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm sad about both. Like, am I surprised? Not
Mm-mm.
really. But at the same time, like, both series deserved a lot better.
No, they did. They really did. Project Diva and Yuri on Ice, they all
Mm-hmm.
deserved better. And it just sucks because like Yuri on Ice was like such an impact to the community. Like I mean, it swept the whole competition at the Crunchyroll Awards. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just obliterated. Now, do I think that it deserved to win every category? No. But shows you the power of the fandom. That's what it shows
Yeah.
you. And I want to see the story conclude, Like I want to see that story conclude cuz they left it open. I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just, next time I'm just going to stick to Kiwani cuz they at least know how to finish a show.
Well, I just hope that Mappa like at least allows the licensing rights if some other studio wanted to like pick it up.
Oh, yes. I would love
Yeah,
that.
like obviously like they don't want to continue it, but I mean, who knows if somebody else wants to be like, "Hey, we'll take on this
All
role."
right, guys, we're opening up a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter. We ourselves are
Cuz
going
even
to,
the voice actors were caught off guard. It's like,
yeah,
dude, they were part of this project. Like
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is going to pick up where they left off. We're gonna need animators and voice actors to finish this. I mean, I could try and contact the Japanese voice actors myself. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But you know what?
On Twitter, just slide into their DMs.
Yeah, I could try and do that. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. You know, my years of being a VTuber and growing a following has come down to this very moment. I'm going to use my numbers, which aren't really that big in comparison, but I'm going to use my numbers to get myself known against these voice actors and these animators and be like, hey, I wanna finish Yuri on Ice the movie, okay? And they're gonna be like, cool, you have like almost 25,000 followers. You must be legit. You're a legitimate person.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in on it. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna use my clout. I'm gonna flex it. I'm going to show everything. I'm gonna undress that clout.
Did you see someone on TikTok animated with like PNGs?
No, I didn't.
It was great. It's like, here's the Yuri on Ice movie. Since Mappa couldn't do anything, and it's just like it's so low budget. It's like
That's so funny.
That's so funny.
So silly.
Oh man, it's just like bummer news after bummer news.
Yeah, and then bummer news is Miku Expo.
Well, yeah.
It's like half bummer, I guess. Like now that I mean, we are a little late to talking about this because we've been busy and all that stuff. I mean, you went to the very first show when it happened, so we didn't get to release an episode, and then I don't remember what happened after that. It's all a blur now. But
yeah, so I went to the second episode. Second show, first show in the US in Portland, Oregon. And
yes.
Let me tell you, I mean, I already knew that there was going to be the LED screen because as soon as the Vancouver show started,
yeah,
dude, I still remember all the damn tweets like, what the hell, an LED? Like, we're watching Miku Expo on the TV. Like, it just, I like watching it in real time was insane.
Oh yeah, I bet.
The backlash was like immediate. So
yeah.
I go and I mean, I already knew about the LED screen. I felt like almost like all eyes were on the Portland show because this was going to be the one to determine whether maybe just Canada didn't get the hologram or if that was going to be the setup for the entire tour.
Look, after Vancouver, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the whole setup for the whole tour.
It was pretty obvious.
It's like, look, I understand we were all coping really hard. We were huffing a lot of that copium. We were like, you gotta huff it. You gotta huff that copium because, like, dog, man, whoa, the community was.
Dude, and it was like almost like immediately after Vancouver, the people started spreading that Coachella rumor that didn't happen.
Which, it didn't happen. Which I'm like, okay, Vocaloid community, hey, Vocaloid fans, hey, listen, okay? When you hear a piece of information, you need to have it backed up with solid evidence.
Yes.
Because I am tired of you guys spreading around misinformation left and right. How many times?
No one bothered to fact check. No one.
I'm like, why would they be at Coachella? Like, why would it be at Coachella? Why would it change in the middle? Like, people would be mad because, like, if it changes after Coachella, then I'm gonna be like, okay, then refund everybody before Coachella.
Yeah.
Like, hello? Because that's not the same show.
As soon as I started seeing the Coachella rumors like spread like wildfire, I had to go and like, I felt like I was giving not mansplain, but like I had to like dumb down music festivals to like the TikTok audience.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's not gonna happen. They don't have a special setup for a show that's under an hour. It does not work that way.
Nope.
Especially when they have to put up the setup, take it down in less than 30 minutes.
I think it's because a lot of the audience is young. Like, a lot of people on TikTok are young, and they don't really understand what Coachella is. I think in their brains, they think Coachella is, like, this, like, really extravagant, like, this is where all the influencers go, and it's like really
Mm-hmm.
expensive, and it is really expensive to go, but
It
like
is expensive.
it's
That is.
but it's not the place you think it is, you know?
No, I mean, only the, I mean, people performing in the main stage, as of like the last few years, yes, they go all out with their stage setup,
Yep.
but they're also the ones that are getting paid like in the millions to perform at Coachella.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like smaller acts that are just in the tens or up and coming, they get paid around like 10 to 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it varies a lot.
Yep. Yep. And
Mhm.
it was just like the whole thing's been ridiculous because like okay, I saw a lot of people, I saw a handful of people saying that,
Mhm.
well, I think the LED screen is better, right? And really invalidating how people feel
Oh
about
yeah, definitely.
Miku Expo and how they feel about the screen, right? The LED
Mhm.
screen. And it's like cool, awesome. You got to go see this show 70 times with the hologram, quote unquote. Can I call it the
Yeah.
hologram? I know a lot of people are like, it's not a hologram. It's a fucking
Yes,
it's a
a lot.
fucking hologram. Shut the fuck up, okay?
It's
It
just an effect that creates that illusion, but we're
yes,
gonna call it hologram to make it short.
exactly, right? I have never been to Miku Expo before. This is going to be my first time going. Very first time. I've been wanting to go to a Miku concert since like 2011 when they first started having them here in the US. I've known about them since 2009, but obviously they were in Japan and I was a kid. I can't afford to go to Japan, right? Like,
Mhm.
but it's always been a dream of mine to go see a Miku concert, to see a Vocaloid concert, right? So by the time like 2016 rolls around and I'm like, oh my God, Miku Expo, I want to go. I'm old enough, I have a job and all that stuff. I just didn't have a way to get to the concert because it's 6 hours away from me, right? And I
Mhm.
don't have any airport near me or anything. I lived in the middle of nowhere. So that wasn't gonna work. Right? 2018 rolls around and I'm like, oh, I could probably go this year. Turns out, Miku Expo is actually in Los Angeles and not going to the one near me. And it is the week before Anime Expo. Cool, awesome. I'm already planning on going to Anime Expo. I already have like the flights and the tickets and the hotel. I can't go. I can't justify staying in LA for like almost 2 weeks. That's
Mhm.
expensive, and I don't have that kind of money, right? So I didn't go. 2020 rolls around. I get the tickets. I'm gonna go fly and see my friends. I'm so excited. And then we all know what happens in 2020. So
Yep.
2024 is my first year. Is my very first year. And I have always wanted to see the hologram in person. And I know there's a lot of individuals who are like me who want to see that hologram effect. They want to see it live. I don't care if it doesn't look as good in person as it does in videos. I still want to see it with my own eyes because that is the experience I have been waiting for. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's like not as good or whatever. I was not wanting the screen and I did not pay for
Yeah,
the
well, it's
screen.
such a big change. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a part of it that I just don't understand. They had planned this tour with the LED already in mind.
Yes.
Why not advertise the LED and
Yep.
just be upfront that there was going to be a change for the 10th anniversary Niku Expo?
Yep. I don't
Like,
know. They probably
and
didn't
even
want the
just like in a
backlash.
marketing way, like the LED is really nice. Why didn't they use that as a selling point?
I don't know. Well, because
It's like it makes no sense.
maybe they knew they didn't actually put effort into it though. That's probably
Yeah.
why. Because like I don't have a problem with an LED screen. I saw videos of GooFest 2024 of like from this year, and
Mhm.
they had it looked really cool because they treated the screen as if it was the stage,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they had like these borders around it and these like big things around it to give the illusion that there is depth to the screen, right? So it looks
Mhm.
like
It
Miku's
was much more
actually there.
deliberate.
Yeah. Yeah, whereas like they're just plopping the LED screen on the stage and then going like, "Yeah, here you go. Here's Miku." And it's
Well,
like,
yeah, that's pretty much how it felt in Portland. Like the screen was all the way like in front of the stage, and then you had all this
Mhm.
like harsh backlighting. There
Yeah.
wasn't any cohesion between like the other, like the towers or whatever, quote unquote, where like the band is. Like
Yeah.
just felt really disjointed. I mean, I still enjoyed the show, but I mean, for something that took months to prepare, it
Yeah.
looked like they literally just rolled out everything on the stage and like were kind of
Mhm.
like, okay, well, let's make a show happen.
It could also be part of it is that they have so many shows. They don't have enough time to like have an intricate stage because they have to
Yeah.
like put it up and take it down so fast and leave to go to the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it's because there's so many because I'm pretty sure there's like 17 shows. And
Yeah.
it's gotten more and more over the years,
Mm-hmm.
which, is like great for people who want to go see it, but like if it affects the quality of the show that much, I don't want that many shows,
Well,
you know?
yeah, like if it really does ruin the like the show experience, I mean, they can do what a lot of artists have been doing and just do like residency shows in like the major cities and have the fans come to you.
Yeah. Well, it's also embarrassing because like I feel like we were really embarrassed at Coachella this year.
Oh, yeah.
Um and like
Especially weekend one.
well, who was it? Was it Lana Del Rey? Was it Lana Del Rey?
Oh yeah, Lana
Who
Del Rey. Weekend one had her hologram,
Yeah.
which I mean, I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I can't believe Lana had her hologram." First of all, I mean, I will play devil's advocate. It looked like shit.
Yeah.
It just looked like a how do you say it? Like a bath curtain that was just extended on like a U-shaped wire.
Yep.
It was the colors were not vibrant. And first of all, I found it so weird that she had a hologram because she's not dead. She
No. She's alive.
like yeah, she just had performed the
Like
song. Like it was just
this isn't the gorillas, like or
yeah, it
like
just felt so like out of place. I don't
yeah.
know.
Like it yeah, I mean it does, but it's still like it's
Mhm.
still something people were like, "Whoa, that's
Oh
crazy."
yeah.
And we could have had
Mhm, mhm.
for Biku. And I saw a lot of people comparing her to Dakapo, the VTuber who had that quote
Oh
unquote
yeah.
concert that
Uh-huh.
everybody like memed on and like shit
Mhm.
on. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but that stuff caused it caused doxing and death threats and like a lot of various things you don't want to get online. So it's why I don't think it's a joke. It's not very funny. It's not because I'm like, oh, my feelings because I'm a VTuber. Oh, like like I no, it's because like that shit, like literally nothing like was done wrong here. Like he didn't do anything
Mhm.
wrong, and it resulted in that kind of shit. Anyways, uh, this is karma, by the way, Vocaloid fans who were making fun of Dakapo. This is like actual karma. Like you actually look like fools because unlike Dakapo, who was a VTuber performing for a quote unquote concert at a convention, which by the way, he wasn't even the only person. There was other people in his agency also performing. It's
Mhm.
just that one clip. It was just one clip, and it was 300 baht, which is like $9 USD to go to this convention where this concert was free. Miku Expo looks like a goddamn fool. Like looks
Mhm.
like people are paying $200 for this shit, right? For this concert.
Yeah.
And we sat here and we all made fun of Dakapo, and then this happens. It is karma. Like literally, karma's a bitch. I should have known better. Sorry. If
Oh
I
my
had
god.
a wish.
Oh my god,
but
Chichiwa.
but it's true though. It is karma. It
It
literally is karma.
is.
Like this whole thing has been karma because like you guys made fun of a VTuber who was just minding his own business, and now the world is laughing at us because of Miku Expo. I hope you're happy.
Mhm.
No, I hope you're happy.
Yeah. I mean, I will say from the first show that I went to, the two more recent ones
Mm-hmm.
were really good.
That's good.
The band is amazing. I think you're gonna enjoy the band a lot, even
Oh,
though
good.
again
I actually
they could have
found
been more open.
I actually found the drummer on TikTok. He's been posting.
Yeah, he's been posting clips of like performing on stage. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the new band is like really, really cool. But I do wish it would have been like, hey, introducing the Miku Expo 10th anniversary band or something before, you
Yeah.
know, because a lot of people were just caught off guard. They went into Miku Expo expecting what they were used to and then got
I,
LED screen, a new visual change, a new band, and no communication at all from Miku Expo team.
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
oh, go ahead.
another thing.
Mhm.
I know we talked about like the pre-sale merch being a mess and everything. The actual merch for every single venue has been a shit show.
I was about to say it looks like it's been a shit show because they sell it outside instead of inside the venue like they
Yeah,
should.
they sell it outside. Every single venue is at 2 o'clock, whatever time zone they're in. When it comes to light sticks, most venues have only had
90.
95 pieces.
Oh,
95
I'm so glad
for
I have
venues that
mine.
sit over 1,000 people.
That's so wild to me. It's like, do you guys
Except for
not
LA. LA had like 700, and you could tell. I mean, the whole like it was well lit up with light sticks.
do you guys not like money? That's just all I'm saying. It's like, do you guys not like money? Because that's what it feels like. Krypton, it feels like you just don't like money. Crunchyroll, it feels like you just don't like money.
You know the funny thing about Crunchyroll is with
What?
everything happening, because I I forget who, I don't know if it was business. I think it was Business Insider that first reached out to Crunchyroll for a statement, and they were like, "Oh no, we're not talking about this. Contact Krypton."
I
So it's
did
like
see that.
Crunchyroll's like, "Okay, yeah, we have nothing to do with this."
I doubt that. I'm not gonna lie. I doubt it.
Oh yeah, they just don't want to say anything.
Of course, they don't want the heat of the Vocaloid fandom because
mm,
we're crazy. We're crazy out here. We're insane. We're crazy. You're crazy, girl.
yeah,
You're
it's just it,
crazy.
and like also with the light sticks in specific, like they still use the same wording that they did for past Miku Expo shows that did have the
Oh,
projection. And that was the whole reason why they were so specific about light sticks.
but yes, because like the reason light sticks, like having the Miku Expo specific ones were so important was so that they don't reflect off the screen, off the
Mm-hmm.
hologram screen, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't disrupt, the experience of everybody. But it's just an LED screen, so it's not
Yeah.
doing that. That's not how it works. They're not doing that. So they just lied to us essentially,
Yeah,
right?
they did,
And
yeah.
wasn't it that this year's light sticks are brighter than
Yeah, they're
past?
way brighter.
That's insane to me because
Yeah.
I was like that to me screams we're never bringing back the holograms.
Yeah, no, they're because when I did my little comparison video versus the Timu one, I was already prepared to be like, this is the reason why Miku Expos has those rules. Like, I'm not making it up. They're doing this for a reason. And then I turned them on. I'm like,
We were
huh.
bamboozled. Bamboozled.
I it, I had to take like unscrew the top because I wanted to see if my eyes were playing tricks on me, and no, it was visibly much brighter than like
Oh my god.
other light sticks. And
Oh my.
even at the shows, like I mean, the whole light stick thing, it's gonna be up to venue security. So if they see anything that looks like a pen light, they're gonna let it in.
Yes.
So I've seen like people bring in their King Blade. I've seen people bring the Daiso ones, and the freaking Miku Expo ones are still brighter.
Oh, I'm I'm so tired. I feel
So
like
it's just it, they're even like they're they're brighter than even the chemical glow stick.
my back is hurting. My back is hurting, my heart. I'm about to have a heart attack. I'm about
Like
ready
it
to
just
go
makes
lay
no
on my
sense.
deathbed. I am sick and tired of this
Well, like
Krypton.
I heard from people that have gone to Magical Mirai, and in Japan, they kind of list off a few like brands of pen lights that you're allowed to bring in. Of
Interesting.
course, they want to sell like the Magical Mirai light sticks because I mean that is a way to generate money. But there is also the option of, hey, these are approved for Miku, Magical Mirai. They could
Yeah.
have done the same thing here. It's like, here's the link. They could have earned commissions from like linking it to Amazon. Or they could have just sold the King Blade non magical, non Miku Expo on that same merge platform. It's like, do you want the Miku Expo one that's more expensive? Or do you want the King Blade like basic light stick for a discount? Here are your
Oh,
options.
this is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. It just doesn't make any sense.
Miku Expo has, I feel like, gone in the toilet ever since pandemic happened, and it's just gotten progressively like all this stuff with Vocaloid has gotten progressively worse. And I
And it's
don't
so
know.
weird because I feel like at least like the music scene,
Mhm.
dude, some of the new songs that have been coming out have been so good.
Oh,
Like
they're
it feels
so good.
invigorated, but I feel like they're not capitalizing on it the
No,
way they should.
no, never, never. Well, again, they hate money. They hate money,
They
but
hate
like
money, but they also need money for Project Diva.
they also need money for Project Diva, apparently.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, and
I
like
will
there's
say
mhm,
I've been treating Miku Expo more like a Vocaloid convention. The fans
yes,
are really what's making this experience so much fun.
yes, yeah. I definitely am excited to like go because I just want to go because I love
Mm-hmm.
Vocaloid so much. Like, am I still disappointed about how things are turning out? Yes, yes, I am. But I'm still gonna
Mm-hmm.
go and have fun because like I still at the end of the day love Vocaloid and it's still like one of my favorite things like ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna let that stop me. Like I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna let that stop me at all. So but on that note, I guess, we're not like wrapping up the episode per se, but I think it might be a good idea to move on to our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys haven't heard, I am going on indefinite hiatus in on the first. So only a few days after this episode goes up. I am
Mm-hmm.
going on indefinite hiatus and I am basically I it's basically an unofficial official graduation. Which if you guys don't know about VTubers that much, I know some of you might not be very familiar with VTubers. Or maybe you're familiar with idol culture. I don't know. When VTubers graduate, essentially it's them not going to be their VTuber anymore, right? So that means I'm just gonna be gone. Goodbye. Never see me again. Goodbye. um.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean for the podcast? So
Yeah, we've talked about this. And we were talking about this like before filming this. So my plan is to continue the podcast. I'll just be doing it solo and bringing in guests for different topics.
yeah.
Because I don't want to replace Stella. Like, first of all, you're irreplaceable. I don't want to replace you. I'm gonna cry. No, but yeah, I just don't really feel the need to replace Stella. And also, I will be completely honest, it's very hard to find people with like a similar worth ethic that you can also trust enough to like
Yeah.
be in like a working partnership with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't I don't want to bring anyone in here.
Yeah, it's I no, I understand that. But yeah, like that
Hmm.
basically means that eh, I'm trying not to cry. Oh, I know I'm gonna be blubbering like a baby on my last day. It's
Yeah.
hard, cause like I got a really cool opportunity in real life,
Hmm.
and I can't pass it up. And it's something I've
Yeah.
always wanted. And like, so I can't do this and that at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So like I do have to leave, but like it is hard. But yeah, I it's just like the opportunity in real life that I got is like it's just too big to pass up. And like sometimes you gotta make stuff for your own career, you know
Mm-hmm.
and take steps for your own career and like what you want to do, like with your life. The reason I'm going on indefinite hiatus and not like a graduation is because I also don't believe in graduations for indie VTubers. Because honestly, I still own Stella, the brand. I still own Stella. I still own the model. I still own all the art. I still own everything. Like, it's not like I'm deleting everything once I leave. It's still here, and I still have a chance to come back to it if I ever do so or have to, or some, like let's say like 2 years in, things fall apart and I have to come back.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be here. Whereas like corporate VTubers usually graduate because they will never be that VTuber again because they're
Mm-hmm.
quitting that job. So that's why it's indefinite hiatus. But honestly, you know, I've had a great time doing the podcast. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I started it. And I came to
Yes.
you to do it with me because like I've always wanted. I was like, oh, I want to do a podcast, and like my normal content isn't very shojo like focused and stuff, and I was like, I need a place to be my neurodivergent self and talk about shojo related things or things that I want to talk about that have nothing to do with my normal content. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we were able to do this. So
Yeah. I mean, we both like to yap.
yep.
So
I'm
it
gonna
was so much
I'm gonna
fun
I'm gonna
being
come
able to
back.
host this.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna come back and then we're gonna call it Shojo's Yap and Adventure.
I would love that. I mean, I'll keep this
Yeah.
going as long as I can, and if in the future you return to be Stella, like you'll have a home here. So,
Yeah. Well, I
mm-hmm.
think that wraps up this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, before we end,
Yeah.
um, I am the more technical challenge one. So don't expect an episode like very soon after. I gotta learn the ins and outs. Once I figure it out, then I'll make an announcement on when I'll pick it back up.
Yeah.
But
I'll teach you how. I'm gonna teach you
yeah,
how to
Stella's
do.
gonna teach me the ropes, how to upload on Apple Podcasts, all that stuff,
Uh,
and then
yeah, because I
I'll
do all
keep
the
the
editing and uploading of the episode. So
yeah, I'll keep the what do I want to say? I'll keep the show going,
the show must go on.
The show must go on. The shoujo must go
The
on.
shoujo must go on. Yeah.
Mm,
Well, thank you guys for listening in. Um,
Thank you. Follow us on Shoujo podcast. That way you can, you know, you'll know when I'm
yeah,
when I'm more tech savvy.
yeah. All right. Goodbye,
All
guys.
right, bye.
Bye
See ya.
bye.